So this is our Ansible controller machine, which we have set up in the last class. And this is our inventory file. Now, just to recheck, I'm running again Ansible -m inventory file -m ping web servers so that to see the response from all the target machine. So I'm having one target as of now. This is good. And last class, we have seen some ad hoc commands, right? A single line commands through which you can automate your Ansible target machines. But always the best approach is to target or to configure the machines via playbooks. Right? So via the playbook. Now, let us write some playbooks to automate the thing. So let's say now I want to install some package, start the service, and to deploy something. Okay, we don't need to do anything here, but for our test purpose, whether configurations are applied or not, we would be checking on this target machine. So I'm also connecting to the target just to test. That's all. Of course, here also it will show you the status, but for us to our learning purpose, we need to check them. So there could be any number of servers. All of them, any number could be handled with the same web service group. Yesterday, we have discussed how to add them here. Multiple targets. That's all. So the same command can automate any number of servers. Okay, so this is the one. So do we have or do we have HTTPD HTTPD on this server? It's not there, or else we can query it RPM -QA HTTPD. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Right. Let us now check it out. Let's now write up a playbook which will install these packages. Right? So let's get started. You can give any name to the playbook. Right? Let me just give the name as playbook1.yaml. So it should begin with hosts, the target servers, which is web servers, and installation of package may definitely need some privileges. So become true, become user, root, and then the task. Task name would be like name of the task. Name of the task would be install HTTPD and yum module. Name of the module. See, yum is a module name, like we have ping module, command module, and all. Yum is a module, and the package name is HTTPD, and state, like I want it to be installed or present. So this, when I run this, okay, M module will be used. M module at the backend will make sure it's downloading the required packages and install HTTPD there. See, like yesterday we have learned this is a playbook. Playbook can have place. This is one place started with 3 hyphens, which is targeting web servers. And this play can have a list of tasks. I can have another task like start the service. Because see, HTTPD might be installed, but service should be started. Another module, service module. Name is the font visible, or let me know if you want to, if I have to increase the font.
This
Name.
is visible.
Good, right? Okay. State equal to running. So these are all the parameters. Yum is a module, name and state are the parameters of this module. Service is another module, name and state are the parameters of this module. I would come back to this playbook again. Let me show those modules. Ansible doc, yum. See, it was again available here, m.py. See, this is not package manager, okay? This is a Python program. Name is given as yum, okay? What it does, installs, upgrades, downgrades, lists, packages, groups with yum package manager. This module only works on Python 2. If you require Python 3, that's a different thing. Means Python 2 should be installed for this module to work. Now these are all the different options. Equal to, if you see, means it's a mandatory option. To browse through all the options, give up and down arrows to move up and down with all the options. So if you browse through, see, state is another parameter you have. And it's not my own. I have given state is present, means it's not that you give whatever you want. Someone will give enable, someone will give disable. No, they are all predefined. The attributes are predefined, values are also predefined. See, this is attribute, predefined. Value, predefined. You can't just use your own attributes and values. Am I making sense? Okay,
Yes.
so you can't give your own values. And what are the valid attribute values? Present, install, latest. How do you know? By going through the documentation. So someone might be asking, should I learn all this? Never. But you should know how to use the documentation. You should know what is a module, what is an attribute. Concepts you should know, and depending on the requirement, 100 modules, more than 100, 600 or so modules were there. So it's not that you learn them or by heart them. In the interview questions, if they ask, as per your experience, whatever you have used, you can answer. Like they might be asking, okay, which module, or else how to do this task, how to do that task. So whichever modules you have to ask, you will code them. But let's say they have asked something else. You can say that we'll search for the required module, we'll go through the documentation, use the attributes and values. But you should explain them the flow, how you will do it. Okay. So these are the attributes. Present means it will present or installed or latest. Both, all these are same. It will install the latest one. If you want to remove absent or removed. Okay, see here, every value is explained, right? So these are all the different attributes, and also it's developed by Ansible core team led by Seth Vidal and some developers names. Do you see? Okay. So yeah, that is about the module. Similarly, service module. Ansible doc. Service is the module name in Ansible. And yeah, control services. See service.py. Control service on remote hosts like this. And again, different parameters. Name is mandatory. We have used it. And then state. Started or stopped or idempotent action. See, Ansible also follows idempotence. Every configuration management tool, or else every IAC tool implements idempotency, like Terraform here also. If already tasks are applied, if it is already in place, it will not do anything. This is one way to check the document. And finally, this is how we reach to this playbook. So only one play. This is having only one play with two tasks. All those tasks will be executed one after the other without any manual intervention. Right? You don't need to write ad hoc command for them. And that's one way to check document. This is another way to check the document. Ansible module. Go to the official documentation always. Ansibledocs.ansible.com. See, here are the hundreds of modules for you. Even those modules were categorized. See here as cloud modules, clustering modules, and so on. The one we are using is a system module. Yum is, I think, packaging module. Sorry. Yeah. Packaging module. And here is the yum. Managers packages with yum package manager. If you go here, it will explain you synopsis, requirements, parameters. The same documentation in the browser, very well documented with all the parameters, default values of the attributes. Some examples of how it can be used in the playbook, right? So now let us run this playbook. Okay, web servers rooted. How do you run the playbook? Ansible playbook. Before running it, let's suppose I want to see what are all the hosts it's going to be targeted. You can do that with Ansible playbook is a command and playbook name, and then list hosts. This will show you the list of target servers that are being targeted by this playbook, right? So it is one host which is being targeted by this particular playbook. Also, yeah. Also, before running it, if you want to do syntax check, that also you can do syntax check. Yeah, see, it just prints the playbook name and list of hosts. Yeah, it was listing the host here, right? Also, if you want to, if I run this, yes, all the tasks will be applied. But before that, if you want to do a dry run, what is a dry run? Preview or a pre-check, okay? It will tell you what happens when you run, but it will not really apply. See, it was just saying, okay, no host matched. Is it that? What is the host name we have given? Web servers. Don't we have in, yeah, see, we are mentioning a different inventory. I mean, we are having a separate inventory file, right? If you don't mention that inventory, it would be considering inventory as a default one, like under HC Ansible host. But I have my own inventory, so always use I flag to mention the inventory. And I'm doing a dry run. See, install HTTPD. This failed because service should be there to get this started. Or else what did I give? Oh, sorry. See, the thing is value must be one of the predefined. It could be reloaded, restarted, or started or stopped. You put running. Understood. If there is an error, it would show this way. So I have used something else. Okay, it should be only within the predefined values. Like started is one of the predefined or a valid attribute value. Now let us run by passing the inventory. So it says change, but still could not find the requested service HTTP. This is fine. See, it can execute only if this is done. But if you see, that's just a dry run. So it would not have applied. Let me check on the target. Hmm. See, HTTPD is still not installed. But here it says it got changed because it's a dry run. Understood? So now let us run the playbook actually, remove this check, remove this dry run attribute. Now, yeah, see all the tasks you can see. First play, web servers, is targeting web servers. And this is a default task, which gather tasks from the target machines. Facts are nothing but details. Now it says this got change service started. Let's see. Let's see now, HTTPD. Okay, permission. Okay, because that's a ECT user sudo HTTPD. See, it says HTTPD is already running. If you want systemctl status of HTTPD, yes, it was running. Meaning on this target machine, if I hit this on port 80, I should see, right? Got it, everyone? On the target machine, I have installed the web server very easily. Otherwise, you should go and install that systemctl start, but that too on 100 servers. Always imagine configuration management with huge infrastructure. If it is 1 or 2 servers, we don't use we don't use Ansible. Am I correct? If your infrastructure is just 2 servers, do you need Ansible there? You can simply log in and do anything. Correct? But here for our lab purpose, I can't spin up more instances. I'm showing you with one. Always imagine this web service is having huge list. Do you know how to add multiple servers to your infrastructure? I mean, to your inventory.
No, Preeti.
You don't know?
Yeah, we can add in the inventory.
Yeah,
Under
SJVC.
that,
And anyway, I'll show you again. Give me a second.
Seems like I've missed it.
Hmm. See, this is our inventory file, right? We created. Here, web servers. I have added one target. You can keep on adding any number here. Here. Here you can add another IP address. All of them, any number, another IP address. All of them will be under the web servers group. I have grouped them as web server. You can keep on adding them here. And also all of them will be using the same private key and the same use. If you have another Means if they are using another username and all, you can just remove this and write it manually. I mean, in a single line. That also we have seen. Just the server name, let's say the server name, and then the private key attribute and the user attribute here itself. Right? That's how we can have any number of servers under this web servers group.
Pretty in
But this
inventory.
command or the playbook remains same. Yeah.
Sorry. In the inventory, you mentioned that web server vars, right? So under that, you mention as a public key and user. So this is
Private
for
key and the user.
instead of passwordless authentication, we are mentioning the user, the public key.
This is passwordless authentication only, right? Key file I'm copying here. Passwordless authentication only.
Okay. Usually we'll do we'll do manually. So this for AWS setup.
Not getting you.
Usually I know basic Ansible, so I will create a user on all the machines. I created a password and SSH. I will share that key.
Okay, that is doing manually. If 100 servers, it will be difficult, right?
Yes, please.
If there are 100 servers, you have to create user on those machines. You have to do it. Whatever user is present on all the machines, we can use that user, a general, I mean a regular user. Like ECT user is present on all the machines. And if all the machines are using the same key, just copy this key on this controller machine and use this attributes. That is enough. That's a manual method of opening.
No need to do manually. This model will copy, right? So
yes. First, you have to copy this file on the controller machine. Yesterday we did, right?
yeah.
This is the key of private key of target machine. That one I have copied to the controller machine and telling that use this key to SH and use this user means you have to SH as this user. So Ansible will SH using this private key for the target machine using this user.
And sometimes we will use remote user and the username for that remote user.
Remote user, no idea. It is remote user.
Okay. In profile, I think some Ansible.conf file there will mention that remote user. And
okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe like you are mentioning the remote user, maybe there are different ways of authentication. Might be those are the attributes to mention the user on the remote server.
Okay.
This authentication can be done in multiple ways. But this is a better method, like without manual effort, without searching manually like we did for Jenkins and all. This is how we can do.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, playbook is executed, service is running. Now let's suppose on this server I want to deploy a HTML file. Let's say we did right on the web server deploying a HTML file. On the Linux class we did manually. So I would like to add another task to this. Name is deploy HTML file. Means the file should be copied, right? How do you do that? There is something called copy module. Copy module will take two parameters, src and destination. How do you know that? I don't know anything. What should I do? Search for, I need to copy something. So if you search here, it will show you all the copy related things. Copy is a module. You have a module called copy. And see, it will take so many things. Destination is one attribute. Source is one attribute. Backup if you want to maintain. Yes, that's another attribute. Where is source? Remote source or yeah, this source. Local path to a file to copy to remote server. And what is this remote source? Influence whether source need to be transferred already present remotely. Okay. See, source means you can copy from Ansible controller machine to target. Or else if your location means where the file is present in a different path, you can set this remote source and configure that remote source location. Because your HTML file might be on separate server as well, right? So these are the parameters, even examples of how to use it, right? So let's go back. Source is, let's say I'll put the HTML file here itself, okay? Because it's in the same path, I'm giving just the file name. If it's in different path from where you are running the playbook, you have to put the proper file name. Destination, where would you copy on this target? Do you know document root location we have learned? What is the document root location for HTTPD? Even we have discussed this also in the Linux classes. See, I don't mind, yeah, we can't memorize everything. It's very difficult to memorize every point. But only my idea is keep practicing. Are you practicing? Have you listened? Have you watched the recording? Don't assume that you may be already knowing some concepts, you might be already aware of it, but still listening it. There might be few points here and there. Okay, when you know all of them, you get a grip over the subject, right? So I would request everyone to do regular hands-on, watch the recordings multiple times, right? Until you register everything. Every point is important. We are not discussing something else or common chit chat kind of, or deviating from the topic, discussing something else. No, right? Every point is informative and important. All right. So yeah, document root location. What is the document root location? This is the document root location for HTTPD. Always this path will be generated by default when you create, when you install HTTPD. So I just want to copy there. Where www.html. That's where I want to copy. Yeah, there's nothing here. So it was showing the default page for us. Now I would like to copy. So copy module can do that. Okay, generally, like whenever we copy, for HTTPD, it's not required. But let's say whenever we copy, generally, I want to start the service, particularly for Tomcat, we should do. Also for HTTPD, if you're deploying some huge applications or files, you may have to. So I would like to write another task to restart. Restart HTTPD. We know how to restart, right? Again, service module. Name is HTTPD. State equal to restarted. Hopefully, I think this is the valid value. You can check the valid values. Okay, so 4 tasks will execute one after the other. But what if, okay, first time it will deploy, it will restart. Second time, there's nothing changed, but still I run the playbook. Again, restart will happen. But do we need it? Do we need this task always? I need this task only when deployment task is changed, isn't it? Not always. Deployment task is changed means when you deploy new files, or else a file is lost, you are deploying, means whenever this task is executed, because task will not be executed always. Let me show you. Let us run this playbook. See here, first task, it is installed. Survey started. Of course, deployment failed because you don't have HTML. That file is not there, right? It was searching here. Okay, let me create that file as well. Index.html. Okay, so right. So now let us run the playbook. See here. Install HTTPD, start HTTPD, deploy the file, restart, everything happened. Okay, now on the same page, right? Means it should be copied onto the target. Do we have it in the target? Yes, the one is copied. How did we do that? Ansible copied it, right? 200 machines, it can do whatever number. Now I will rerun. See, do you observe this? These tasks were not re-executed. Okay, means they were already there. Already a package is there. It is installed. It started, right? So only these things should be changed. Right? Restart on executed. So now I'll rerun the playbook. Services started. And see, all of them got, because they were all in place. So they just say, okay, idempotency. Ansible will not re-execute the things. But see, restart is happening because restart is not that something it has to check and perform, isn't it? Are you following? Because the deployment means already there. Service is already started. HTTP is already there. But restart is something, a task which is not something like already existing kind of, right? It has to perform this task always. And always it will try to restart. But do you need it really? Should we restart it always? What is the purpose? Correct? So how can we handle this better? Understood the problem?
Yes, Preeti.
So it will take time to restart because just now we have executed this restart. Again, it should restart. It may take some time. I'm just canceling it. Okay, it done. See, all of them are okay, but it just restarts each time. Do you need it? Definitely no. Idempotency is a great feature. Idempotency is a great feature which will avoid re-execution of the task, re-implementation, reinstalling. It's not that it will uninstall and install. If things were in place, it just says, okay, saves a lot of time, a lot of advantages. So I don't want just restart always. Then what do I need? I want to execute this restart depending on the deploy task. Whenever deploy task is executed, then only I would like to restart. Means I would trigger it through something called notify. Notify this task. Task name should be written as it is. Okay, restart notify means the task restart HTTPD will be called only when deployment is executed. Not always. Also, such tasks which are called through notify or else which are executing depending on the previous task are called handlers. What is handler? Handler is nothing but a special task. What kind of special task? It is a special task which will be executed only through notify. Notify will be triggered only if this deployment task is executed. Right? Such special tasks which are called through notify are called handlers. Handler is also a task but a special task. And you may want to, you can call the same handler any number of times. Let's suppose I want to restart here. You can also use the task. But you may call the handler any number of times. How do you call the handler? Through notify. Right? You may call it any number of times, but it will be executed only once at the end of all the tasks. That is the advantage of handler. Now let's see. Let us run the playbook. Earlier, restart is happening each time, but now, because there is no change in deployment, restart is not at all called. Got it, everyone? When it will be called? Only when this task is executed. Is it executed now? Executed in the sense, any change, right? No, it just says, okay, means it's not executed now because things were in place. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Understood the importance of handler. What I'll do is, I will change this. Okay. This is the deployment actually right now. Now this should deploy. And also, so now here this is the HTML file it has got, right? So, but now new HTML file will replace it. Without replacing, I want to take a backup of it. Yes, copy module supports it. Some time back we have seen. You can say backup is true. That is there in the official document. Let us go here. See, backup is true. Default is false, so it will override. So if you want backup is true. So I'll add this parameter backup equal to true. Now let's see. And now deployment task will change because deployment task, the new HTML is added. See this change because this change handler is executing. Do you see that? Also now here, if you see ls, see it has taken backup of your old file. This is the new file, right? See, this is deployed. And what is this backup file? See, understood everyone. So here, see, interesting, isn't it? Ansible, Terraform, these are very important for infrastructure management and very interesting. See, handler got executed because this got changed. If I rerun, then will handler execute now?
No, it will not.
No, because deployment task is not changed. So that's how you can take a backup of your deployments. Using simple copy module, you can do it, or else there are many ways to handle this. See, now we were deploying. This is my host machine. This is the host. This is the target. I want to copy some files from here. So you have a copy module for this. Okay, if you want to copy from the host to target. Oh, yeah, we have used copy module. What if you want to copy something which is on a particular URL? Isn't it? Something might be on a particular URL, you want to copy it onto the target, right? Then there is another module called get URL module, right? Or else, suppose something is on the Git repository or else some version control system, I want to copy it onto the target. You have another module called Git module. So those are all the different modules and those are all the different ways of deployment. Am I correct? Those are all the ways you can do, isn't it? We will see all of them, okay? By the end of the Ansible topic, we will look into all those ways as well. Yeah. So, yeah, this is one way of deploying onto your HTTP server. I would like to do one more thing. I would like to deploy something on Tomcat. Shall we proceed so that other scenarios could be covered? Let's go ahead. Playbook. I'm copying it as playbook2.yml. It would be almost same. Playbook2.yml. Web servers. Install HTTP. Install Tomcat. It was similar, but yeah, this is also Tomcat. Deploy some var file, let's say. Okay, these things we have done in the Linux class manually, directly on the server. But what if you want to deploy Docker? That also we'll see. Okay, fine. I want to deploy a var file, and let's say my var file is on some remote machine, or else it's on some URL. First, let me change all of this. Okay, so coming here, now I want to copy a var file. Let's say it's on some URL, sample URL. So there is a module called get URL, and the attributes could be URL. You have to maintain the URL and the destination. Destination could be, yeah, it would be USR share Tomcat web apps, right? That's a path. Is backup available for get URL? Let's see. Go to get URL, get from some URL, get components, yeah, get URL from. Now, see, backup is available. Do you see that? Backup is available and the destination is available. and URL attribute should be there. Yeah, URL. Okay, you mention the URL from where you want to download. If that URL needs password, yes, there are attributes you can do. Nice, right? So, yeah, let's modify our playbook accordingly. URL. I would like to get some sample var file. Copy this. I would like to have this backup also. So, everything else is same. You know handler, you know HTTPD thing, and everything is fine, right? So this is the URL it will download and put it in the web apps directory and restart Tomcat. This task will be called. Can I run the playbook or any questions from anyone?
Preeti, here instead of copy, we are using get URL.
Because you want to download from the URL. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Let's save this. Now let's run this playbook. First, let me check list hosts. What are the hosts it's going to target? Yeah, one machine, and this is, sorry, playbook 1, playbook 2. And I just want to check. See, it was showing host 0. Without inventory, it was not identifying it because we were using our own inventory file. Okay, it was saying 0. Now it gives you host 1 and the IP address. Fine. Then syntax check if you want. If you want dry run, you can do, but I would like to run it now. Not dry run, the actual run. This is okay, gathering facts, because it has information of the target already. But this one, let's see. The var file is deployed and everything happened, it seems. Let's see. On this machine, target. Okay. So cd usr share Tomcat web apps. See, do you see that? Sample var file got copied. Yeah, if you rerun, it just says okay, right? Handler will not be called. Everything else is same, right? Now let's see. On the same target, we have deployed this web server. On the same target, we have deployed Tomcat and web application. Let's see. 8080/sample. Port should be open. I have allowed all HTTP, HTTPS traffic, but not this. Has it came up? Okay, because I think I allowed all traffic. Let me check. On this target Ansible host. It's not working. Okay, only I have allowed 2280. Means all HTTPS traffic, HTTP traffic I have allowed. Port 80. That's why earlier this worked. But for this port 8080, so we need to add that custom TCP port. So let's go here. It was still, it could not reach. So edit the inbound rules, add the custom TCP port 8080 from anywhere. Okay, once this is ready. Yeah, this is the application. Understood, everyone? So we have deployed a web server, we have deployed a Tomcat server on all the infrastructure. You can do this. All right. Interesting, isn't it? This is very much helpful in managing your infrastructure. I'm repeating it. Hands-on on this is mandatory. Ansible is very important. Ansible Terraform. Okay, so we were just directly installing on the servers. Yeah, we can do it. You may be asking question, why should you install directly? Like on the server, we are installing this application. If you are installing this means what you should do? You should install Tomcat, isn't it? These are all the pain here. See, I should install Tomcat. Of course, I'm installing latest version, but if your WAR file has some compatible versions and all, you should choose the particular version and all, right? Also, those versions might be upgraded, downgraded, all of them you should take care. So what I would do, I would rather choose something like Docker containers. How to deploy Docker with Ansible and all, we'll see. But before that, let's talk about variables in parameter. Oh, sorry, variables in Ansible, I'm sorry. So just come here. Any playbook, take any playbook. I would prefer HEDPD. There is more scope for adding variables. So if you see here, this is all hard coded, right? Source path, destination path. Can we automate it? Isn't it? Yeah, let's try doing it. Yeah, this can be done in multiple ways. First, let's replace them with a variable. How do you replace them with variables? You can define them as a vars in the playbook, like like let's say I just want to use this. Instead of hard coding this, I would like to, all the variables will be defined in double curly braces. Okay, you can refer the variables in the double curly braces. But where do you assign them? We'll see. Destination path in double curly braces, and the variables should be defined here as vars. What is a variable? This is the variable. Okay, this is the variable. You can assign some value, or else let's do one thing. Okay, I have see, I don't want to hard code, so I have done this. So now if you run the playbook, what happens? See, because you don't have variable, right? Line number 19. So what you can do is, whenever you are calling a playbook, you can pass them from the command line, okay, with a -e attribute. -e, the variable name, src path equal to, just it is in the same location, and then the destination path equal to var www.html. This is one way passing the variables from the command line. Still, -c source destination. What else it's saying? Line number 9, column 18. Line number 9. HTTPD state start.
Colon missing, Preeti. In
Where?
source src path _ path, there is a single colon in double colon. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Double
Yeah.
bracket.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you. Let me check now. What if I don't pass the value? See, because we are not passing value, says SRC path is undefined. Okay, you did not define it. So -e means extra arguments. Now it all went fine because it is already there. It says everything is okay. But if there are more variables, we can't do this way, right? So we could define them here as vars. Okay, vars src path and define the value here itself, like index.html, and destination path is var ww html. Okay, this is another way of calling the variables. Now you don't need to pass the values, but it should work fine now. Right, it all went fine. This is one way of calling the variables. There is another way which you can also do. Instead of placing the variables in the same file, here you can just call the variable file. Means we'll put the variables in a separate file. Okay, and here we'll just say instead of vars files and the Ansible means some file. Okay, you have to create this file. Your variables should be defined here. So this is another way. Create this file, whatever you have given name there, Ansible vars, and define the variables here like src path and the value for it. Src path. Sorry, I just want to put the same index.html. Destination path is var ww html. Right? These are the different ways you can handle the variables. Here also you just run the playbook. It should work the same. One is from the command line, one is from a separate file, or else one is by defining in the same file. Clear, everyone? Any questions? These are the different ways you can pass the variables. And any questions in this part? Okay. See here, if you notice, I'm having two playbooks for two configurations. One is for HTTP server configuration, and the other one is Tomcat configuration. What if you have like 10 configurations? Maybe I want to configure Docker, I may want to configure database server, I may want to configure so many things. So I would be managing so many playbooks, right? Which is not effective way to do, isn't it? I can't manage so many playbooks for each task. And whenever I want to apply them, I should keep on moving, applying those files, isn't it? So rather writing a separate playbook for each configuration, we can create something called roles. Roles make the task more simple, and roles make bring modularization and better organizing your playbooks. They help in better organizing your playbooks, first of all, right? Instead of having so many playbooks, I'll have only one playbook, then I'll just call those roles. Roles are nothing but directories. Roles is an advanced concept in Ansible. We have learned, okay, playbooks are bringing complete automation, but now I say there is much more way or much more better option to automate this through roles. Instead of you calling a separate playbook each time, I'll call only one playbook from now. This playbook will be calling a role. Role is nothing but a directory with a predefined. Okay, what directory should be there? It's a predefined directory structure. Role is a directory with predefined subdirectories, right? Each directory will have the respective code, and this makes the place more, means this brings complete automation or full-fledged automation. It helps you organize your playbooks better. It's not that you have 10 configurations, you manage 10 playbooks, right? So this is another advantage you can use. So now let's go and see how to implement this. We can create a role. See, like I said, role is nothing but directory with subdirectories in it, and you'll have different directories like tasks, handlers, and so on. Means basically you split the playbook into a role, but it's not mandatory. First, you should create a playbook, then you create a role. Not required, but that can be done, right? We already have a playbook. I can use this and create a role. So let's see how to create a role. We have to first create a directory called roles. Okay, in that we'll create a subdirectories. Go to roles. Here I'll have a role for HTTPD and Tomcat. First, let me create a role for Tomcat. Okay, CD Tomcat, and here again you'll have subdirectories like subdirectories, predefined directories like files, handlers, tasks, meta, vars. Okay, what are all this? All the files, any files to be copied from controller machine to target will be here. Handlers will be here. Tasks will be here. Meta means some description, read me for the role. Okay, and then vars is all the variables. Okay, they were all created. Role is nothing but a directory with subdirectories, predefined subdirectories within. And you may check it in the tree view for better clarity. You can install tree. Tree will show the directory structure in the tree view. Not only Ansible, any directory structure, if you want to see in the tree view, you can do that. Now, if I run tree, right, that's a tree view. Okay, now let's go to tasks. Here we have to create the task. You may give any name to your playbook, but main.yaml is the one we generally give. But I would like to copy it from the existing playbook. The playbook is available here, right? Playbook 2.yml. I would like to copy all the tasks from here. And in the current task directory, we create a file called main.yml. Put all the tasks. That's all. Now come out of the task directory, go to handlers. Here also again create the file and put all the tasks. All the file names could be same main.yml. Okay. Now what else is left in the playbook? Tasks. These mandatory options will go to the main playbook. That's all. My role is ready for Tomcat. Just come out of this. This is your role ready. Actually, here I would like to do tree, right? So handlers is having main.yaml, tasks is having main.yaml. We don't have variables here. But how do you run that? Come out of roles. Here you may create a playbook, a main playbook. I'm calling it as site.yml. You may give any name. Here comes the mandatory options like host. Yes, web servers. Then become true. Become what user? Run as which user? So become user, root. Then comes something called roles. And the role name is Tomcat. Ansible Playbook, site.yml, but pass the inventory, -i, Ansible inventory. Okay. Also do the syntax check or first list host. Right, one target, fine. Yeah, let's see. Let's run this. Like it was saying everything okay, right? Because everything is in place. How does it know? It will go to the roles directory and fetch the role and execute the task from each playbook one after the other. If you want to see, let me remove this. I'll delete this deployment so that it will re-execute. Go to USR share Tomcat. I'm deleting whole directory with all the contents. Also, the var file. First, right, gone. Now, let us reapply the playbook to see that it's executing, it's doing something. It will collect, it will go to the role, fetch the configurations, and it will apply. See? Got it, everyone? Did I apply 1 minute? Yeah, site.yml. Means now what is the advantage? Site.yml will be going to the role and it will be calling all the tasks. Similarly, I would be calling another role and call the role from here. Like site.ym. Tomorrow I'll create a role for HTTPD. Okay, or else I'll give the name as Apache. That's all. You call all the roles. No need to call each playbook for a separate configuration. Am I making sense? The advantage of role. Shall we create another role for Apache so that it may be more clear for you? Yeah, good to go.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's go to roles. Now go to Tomcat. Sorry, Tomcat is already there. Let's create one more role. Make directory. You may give any name of your choice. I'm giving the role name as Apache. Go there. Create subdirectories like files, handlers, meta, tasks, vars. Okay, done. Now go to files. Okay. Now copy this. I already have a playbook. You did not have a playbook beforehand. Okay, if you don't have, you will write here because I already have. I'm copying from here. Copying from this. Generally, we give name as main.yml. You may give any name, but I'm giving here as. Okay, done. Then come out of this. Go to handlers. Again, main.yml and put this handler there. Done. And any files to be copied, we'll put it in the files directory, right? That's what we have seen some time back. They should be in files directory, not in a random location. So go to files. You may copy your index.html, which is in the default location here. Right? So deployment would be the same. Correct? Why is main.yaml present here? 1 second. Oh, sorry. I think I placed it in here. Okay, let me do one thing. Moved it main.yaml to
Task.
roles Apache tasks. Yes. Okay. So nothing here now. Now let's see if everything is fine. If you want to see index.html, main.html. Yes, it was all good. But variables, isn't it? Whatever variables there, you should define here. So let's go to the task once again. Vim. See, do we need SRC path? Do we need this variable still? Do we need this? Why don't you need this? Because any file will be from the files directory, right? You don't need to put anything from the random location. Any file to be copied will place in the files directory. So no need of path, no need, only one variable, destination path, correct? If not understood, let me know. That's here also, main.yaml. And define one variable, whichever you have. Destination path is var ww html. That's all. Correct? Clear, everyone? Why did we remove this?
Yes, Priti. It's already placed in that file directory. That's why we are removing.
Yeah. Anything, any files to be copied should be present in the files directory only. Okay. Also, you should define the variable here, right? This is missing. Here, I don't think we need to define here. Let's see if it asks for variable, we'll add. I don't think we need to add it here. All right. Okay. Yeah, almost the role is ready now. If you just come here, tree, right? Apache role, this any number of roles, and see they were all placed properly. Yes, all the vars here, tasks here, files to be copied here. Good. Now come out of the roles directory. Now go to site.yml. Here, yeah, already I have placed it. Now let's execute this playbook. See, all the tasks were happening one after the other. Do you see that? All the tasks from Tomcat, then everything from HTTPD, right? Because the same file I have used, nothing changed. If you want, again, you remove something here, you make some changes, it should work, right? That's the importance of it. Always now only one playbook, right? You can also make the role better. Let me show you. Go to Apache role here, go to tasks. Here, if you see, main.yaml. So many tasks are there, right? There might be huge number of tasks, 10 tasks, 20 tasks, right? I can't just put everything in the same. What I can do is, I can create multiple playbooks here. I mean, multiple YAML files or playbooks. Yeah. Like, see, this is about installation. So many tasks are there for installation. I can just put them separately. Starting service can be handled separately. Deployment can be handled separately. So what I'll do is, I'll create files like install.yml, service.yml, and deploy.yml. Okay, now install.yml. Here I'll put the task related to this. Indentation, spacing are important in Ansible. Sorry, for YAML. It might be Ansible or Kubernetes, whatever it is. So the tasks related to service. Indentation, spacing are very important, like in Python. Okay, then I'm just splitting because your playbook might be huge, right? You can't just put all the plays there. You can't, I mean, tasks there. You can't manage it properly. So then what next? So how do you call it? Okay, I have got now 4 files. So whatever in the main.yaml, I have added them in the 3 separate files. So I could just remove everything from here and call those tasks from here. That's all. I mean, call those playbooks. How do you call those playbooks? Like minus, it's a list actually, include. First, it should include install.yml. Then again, include parameter will help you include those YAML files. YAML. Okay. And or else include deploy. So all these files will be called one after the other. Right? So got it, everyone. So now if you see the tree view, right? In Apache, in the task, see you have 4 files. Main.yaml is being calling all of them, right? And if you run the playbook again, it should say okay because configurations were same. The way we were handling it got changed. This is how you can create your own roles. Basically, you split your playbook into the roles, all the tasks being called from one another. Am I clear with this? Any questions?
Yes, please.
So this is how you can create your roles, or else you can also use already written roles. Means Ansible has got its own official roles for standard deployment, standard configurations. You can also do that. It's like galaxy.ansible.com. Galaxy Ansible. Yeah, galaxy.ansible.com, where you have all the roles available, predefined roles. See, they were categorized as such. You can go and search. Let's suppose, see, Ansible can be used to configure any packages like HTTPD, Tomcat, Docker. Also, it can be used to set up the CI server, right? Maybe Jenkins server you can set up. There is a module called Jenkins. Yeah. See, so many modules related to Jenkins, and you can choose. You have to read the documentation and see which one works for you. I have used this some time back. There is some role which will work, which is from lean delivery Jenkins. Okay, this works for us because see, I mean, example how to download. Role is nothing but a bunch of Ansible code, right? Which platforms it supports? See here, it supports Amazon. Ours is Amazon instance, so it should support it. If you go to README, it will explain you about what are all the role installations it will do. It will install Jenkins, plugins, everything. Right? It has a lot of options, parameters. So I would like to install this. Right? So let us try installing this role. Yeah, predefined role. You can also customize these variables. See, these are all the variables it was using. We can pass those variables and customize it. Let me show you doing it. First, download the role. Right? How do you download the role? There is a command like Ansible Playbook. You have a command called Ansible Galaxy. Install. See, you have to install all the roles in the same path. So make sure to provide the path by using roles path. I would like to install in the same roles directory. The role name is username first. Lean delivery dot Jenkins. Here is the role name. This is the username and the role name. Jenkins means the same user. Lean delivery may have so many roles, but this is the name. Do you see this? You can also install this command, but it may install the role in a different path. So to make sure you are installing in your own roles directory, you are specifying this flag. That's all. Now let's see, we should have the role installed. See, starting Galaxy role install process, downloading the role, and there might be some dependent roles also might have downloaded. This role might be dependent on something else. So go to roles, ls, yes. Do you see this? Lean delivery Jenkins. Install, so how do you call it? Just come here, go to our main playbook. Here, you put the role name, like lean delivery dot Jenkins. That's all, right? Save it. Now you run the playbook, right? So whatever tasks are there will be installed, and Jenkins should be installed on port 8080. But do we have 8080 open? I mean, it's open, but 8080 is not free port, right? Tomcat server is running. But this is also Jenkins also will be installed there. So what you can do, there are role variables which you can customize if you read it. See, there is a port, Jenkins HTTPS port. Similarly, HTTP port should be there. This is HTTPS. Yeah, see, Jenkins port. Jenkins port, port Jenkins is listening on. I would like to customize it. How you do that? Go to site.yml. Here you can define the role variables, vars and the variable. But that should be on 1990 because 8080 is not it. This 1990 will override the default one in the role. Now I can run this playbook. Ansible playbook -i inventory site.yml. So now all the roles should be executed one after the other with all its tasks. Now Tomcat is fine, HTTP is fine. See, Jenkins started. Because they were not there, it was executing everything. On few minutes on this server, on the Ansible target machine, Jenkins could be installed. With all the plugins, all the default plugins and all. See, it may take few minutes, but yeah. That's how you can use already existing roles in Ansible. Got it, everyone? Any questions? Yeah, see, it's installing on this target machine. Jenkins should be seen in some time. Tomorrow we shall look into deploying Docker. But any more questions in this part? Anything else you have, you can ask me now.
Preeti, in Jenkins port, we are updating the vars in the main.yaml file. But in the task playbook, we have to specify that it should be in the double quote in the vars value, right? But here there'll be a hard coded. But how we are that where's it defining that variable in the task task YAML file?
You mean this variable? One second, I'll come to your question. Service failed because control process existed with error code. Maybe Java version it should install. Somehow it failed. Force all notified handlers to run restart Jenkins. Systemctl status Jenkins. It's not loaded starting Jenkins. Okay, Java version, which version it has installed? Java version 17 was installed, which should be fine. Let me rerun so that it may. See, do you see at least Jenkins got installed, right? But somehow it's failing. I'll rerun to see. Dhanvelan, you are asking about the attribute, right? Port
Yes,
attribute I have added in the main file.
yes,
Okay, see.
in previous Apache model, the where we are implementing, right? That
Here
time
also, yeah, I got your question. Here also, the attributes are defined in the vars of that Jenkins module. Okay. Okay, so variables are defined in that vars folder, correct? But
yes.
you are overwriting those values through your site.yaml. Okay, this is how we are overwriting the one in the vars of Jenkins module. You may be asking, you can go there and modify it. If I go there and modify it, wherever I apply this, see the use of roles is they can be reusable. I may be applying it on some other server, let's say dev environment. There might be some other server group like dev server, web servers. I may have application servers. I want to install Jenkins there. So if you change the port here, everywhere the port will be changed wherever it is applied, right? I don't want to do this. Only on this web server's port is not free. I want to change the port. So you can override the variables inside the role by assigning values here. So this is always a best practice. You need not go to that particular role and modify them. Understood the reason?
Yeah.
This time something else, connection refused. HTTP error -1. Let me check the status here. This time it could be a bit better, but failed to start. We have changed the port. But let me check once again. Meanwhile, let me open port 9090 also. Mhm. Okay. Let me check on the target. This is the target, right? Cat etc this config Jenkins. Is the port changed?
Yes,
Port
change.
is yeah, see, it got changed. So port should not be a problem, but what is this? Port listening to Jenkins set to -1 to disable. And from where is this error coming? Changed false, lean delivery proxy configuration. HTTP error -1 request failed. URL open error. URL open error, maybe because of the port. Let me see. Now the port is also open, but that should not be the case. That's for external access. Let us see. Still connection refused. URL open error. Maybe the versions of Jenkins or whatever. Let me try restarting it manually. Restart Jenkins, but before that, okay, it was asking see system logs and the details. Exited start limit. Disabled. Vendor preset disabled. Failed to start. Stopped server. Start request repeated too quickly. Okay, maybe because of too quick restarts it was happening. See, start request repeated too quickly for Jenkins service. Let me try. Start Jenkins. Was not provided, not any service files. I think in some time it should be started. Stop is not installed. Okay, let's wait. Maybe after restart it may be working. We shall try it tomorrow. Like running the playbook again, or else we can check the status tomorrow. Yeah, maybe it was taking some time. After restart it should work. Or else sometimes might be the configuration issue with the Ansible, I mean with the Jenkins version we are using, what this module is doing, right? It all depends. So you can read this one thoroughly. Yeah, which version it was installing and all. I think it was all installing latest one. It should not be a problem. Yeah, minimal version 2.7, Java 8, requirement is Java 8 it seems. Operating system, CentOS, RHEL8, Amazon Linux 2. We were using Amazon Linux 2, so it should also be fine. All the other configuration values should be fine. Has it created home directory? Oh, sorry, on the target, right? Where lib Jenkins. Yes, it has created, right? But few files were there, sub pem files, key files in the home directory. Okay, we'll wait for some time and we'll do. So that's all for today. We'll rerun this playbook again tomorrow, but this is how you may use already existing roles, right? We have seen how to call our playbooks efficiently. Then, okay, we were installing directly there. We have already learned how to deploy, like what's the differences between deploying VMs, deploying on a VM or a Docker container. This is directly on a VM, right? How to do it in a Docker container also we'll see tomorrow. I mean, in the next class, like how to deploy in the Docker containers, how to integrate the Ansible playbooks in the pipeline, all those coming up. Any more questions from anyone? All right, then we shall close here and thank you all. Have a good day. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Preeti. You too have a good day and a good weekend ahead.
Thank you so much. Wish you the same. Bye.